Roll for Crit here with your weekly board game news roundup for this week, the week of March 26th, 2018. That's it. It's done. Okay. Thanks. I'm a pro, what can I say? Board game juggernaut Asmodee has announced that it will be launching a brand new division of its company called Asmodee Entertainment. The purpose of this division will not be to produce board games, but rather to take its existing properties and use them to expand into the world of other media. Specifically, they mentioned films, TVs, comics, and graphic novels. They also cited the success of previous ventures into books and graphic novels as part of their inspiration for expanding that operation. As far as I can remember, the only books they've done are those ones based on the Arkham Horror stories. In fact, there's one behind us on the shelf. I can't think of any others.
The weird thing is, didn't Fantasy Flight announce like Fantasy Flight Entertainment a while back?
Well, they have their the digital division. Yeah, so we've kind of seen them starting to branch out into different areas. This is specifically for passive media you watch on the screen.
But it's not Fantasy Flight, it's all Asmodee.
All Asmodee on the table, which is pretty much all board games, right? I mean, that's a wide berth that they're giving.
I mean, I think this is probably just set up for, because we always hear in the works, a Catan movie.
Right, Catan.
So they can have that, that nice graphic that goes up.
Yeah, the cool, like the Marvel logo, but it's going to be every Asmodee board game and meeples coming to life.
No, I can't wait for the Seven Wonders graphic novels.
And we have talked a lot about movies, board game movies, but rarely I feel like have we talked about the idea of TV shows or comic books.
Right.
So that's kind of an interesting thing. There was the Dead of Winter comic. That's another one that came out that is now under their umbrella. And so TV could be interesting. I'm curious. One thing they said, they're using this division more as a licensing platform, it sounds like. So they're not going to be making the movies themselves. It sounds like they're going to be negotiating the deals with other people
that's
like
why
Sony.
I think it's more of that they take care of that logo, nice logo to appear.
Yeah, right. But they're going to be overseeing it in some capacity and probably trying to pitch which ones they want to see as movies.
I mean, it'll definitely be having to make sure they stand out. Like Dead of Winter, for example, it's like, how do you make that just not The Walking Dead in the cold?
Yeah, or maybe you don't have to. Maybe that's enough. I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's almost staggering because with Fantasy Flight, we narrowed it down to like a few different universes, but Asmodee encompasses so much. Are we going to see the like Days of Wonder properties, the Ticket to Ride, an old train show or something?
Like Kemet, like is that just an Egyptian god movie, but because it uses the name or something?
There's so many possibilities. I mean, we should do a whole other video about.
For those of you who are excited for the new Avengers movie coming out soon, there will also be some new Marvel Legendary sets coming out. First one being World War Hulk. This will be about the size of Dark City, so sort of the bigger expansion size, and will include probably many Hulk characters, and we know that She-Hulk will be among them. I think this is pretty cool because I think Hulk has not got as much love because I think you told me movie-wise he has a lot of copyright issues. But speaking about movies, we are actually now getting a core set specifically designed around the first phase 1 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This will be still shots, and I believe it will not actually just be different artwork, but with the movie stills, there'll actually be new cars to add. So this Captain America will not be the same as core set Captain America from the first Legendary core set.
Right. This is, of course, coming on the heels of the Spider-Man Homecoming set, which famously used those movie stills, much to most fans' chagrin. Not too excited about. So it seems either it sold well and they're going forward with it, or they already had this in the works and haven't had a chance to react to negative reactions yet. I don't know which it is, but it is interesting. I mean, it makes sense from their perspective. Again, they want to get people who like the movies to buy their game, and that's an easy way to get them involved. But it does. I'm really starting to feel the bloat of this game. There are so many cards. And I can't fit them all anywhere.
He doesn't mean mentally. Literally, the box we have for him, we've split into two now. One holds all the heroes and like villains. The other's like the game components, like wounds and stuff.
Yeah, and the amount of different keywords that exist. I have like 12 rule books. I mean, it's insane.
Well, I hope this core set shouldn't have any new keywords. I think it's just they have plenty that they can pull on.
That'd be nice.
Or make new interactions. And as someone, I'm a big person who's not usually a fan of stills from TV shows or movies. That's the big thing I find really lazy and annoying. I'm a little bit more fine with it, just so like at least there's the movie course set. Like I just don't want them to continue, like because the Spider-Man felt so weird. You know what
That's
like,
true, because you had to like mix it with their original art or from the comic books art, whichever it is. So yeah, that's something, that's a bright silver lining you got right there. Going back to Hulk, I feel like maybe you know a little more than I do about the World War Hulk storyline.
I don't know much besides
because I don't know anything.
All I know is that it's like him at his strongest. I think he can like crack plants and stuff.
So I think there's probably gonna be like at least 2 Hulks in there, right?
But I know
like just Hulks.
Well, I know other Hulk. There's probably gonna be him as World War Hulk. I'm guessing. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Red Hulk as a villain, a mastermind, because that's always been one. And possibly with I don't know, Red She-Hulk could be hero or villain.
Think maybe they'll throw in like a Thor or two because of Ragnarok, or
they might because I think in World War Hulk, I think he actually fights a lot of other heroes. And I also think there's currently a Wolverine Hulk hybrid in the comics or something. I thought I remember reading about something called like Weapon H. So maybe that's in there.
What's the H stand for?
Hulk.
Oh, right.
But I mean, I do think there are some cool characters. More like I'm not just talking about Hulk and but like She-Hulk, who's actually like.
She-Hulk's a good one. I'm ready.
And I know
that.
like his son from alternate universe is already in the game.
Baby Hulk.
No, it's like he's like this child of Hulk and what are the aliens that can change shapes? The Skrull Queen. So like, and he's already in there, so I guess he wouldn't be in this. But I do know there's like a lot of like weird Hulks that you don't know about.
Yeah,
there's like a gray Hulk. There's so maybe it's just all different versions. Banner's gonna be one.
Oh yeah, there's gonna be Bruce Banner. There should be a 2-sided, with the 2 characters. Where it's like a Jekyll and Hyde, but with the 2.
That actually would be pretty. That makes perfect.
Classic Hulk. They're gonna have Hulk from this TV show, the live action. They're gonna have every version you can imagine.
Now we're gonna have weird sets where like some of them are artwork, but then some are still. And I'm not talking about different sets, like literally one set of hero.
Yeah. So summertime releases. If you gotta get your fix, you're gonna get it. We got word of a brand new 7 Wonders expansion finally making its release at this year's Essen Festival. It is called 7 Wonders Armada. And what this adds to the game is that it adds a little board that everybody has called their naval board. So each player has their own, and it has multiple tracks on it that will be upgraded in various ways depending on which cards that are new cards that you can choose from the main deck each age. And at the end of an age, whoever is the highest on that track, or first place, second place, third place, you're gonna get a certain amount of points depending on where you rank. So not just the people next to you in this expansion, this one is going to actually take into account anybody at the table in your group. There's also one of the tracks lets you draw from a new deck of island cards, which are different things that might give you bonuses or other kind of power-ups. So some cool new stuff there. It sounds like an interesting way. This is a game we just put out a review for last week, so timely.
Obviously they waited until our review.
I think so. It makes sense. One of the things we talked about was how you don't interact as much with other people at the end of the table, but at the same time, sometimes it can be hard to keep track of what everyone else is doing. So this sounds like definitely an interesting module to add to the game.
Also, I think it doesn't break the theme at all, because the idea is they're all connected by water. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, true.
There's a reason why that is a big deal back then. So, I mean, that definitely sounds really cool. Definitely worth checking out.
Yeah, we haven't tried Babel yet, right? You haven't tried Babel yet.
I have not, but I think our friend has it.
Yeah, I think we have access to it, but I was just wondering if it will be the kind of thing where you kind of want to use one of those or the other, or if both will mix together well. Because I think cities and leaders, those are pretty small. You can easily throw those in.
Yeah, I think those are more like a card type, but Babel's a pretty big thing.
And it sounds more like in the Babel vein, where it's going to be a big old thing. So yeah, we'll see. Again, releasing this year in Essen, so I'm not sure when we're going to see it in the Americas, if it will be the same time release or later on.
We have a new Smash Up expansion released this week. It is the Smash Up That 70s expansion. If you can't guess from the title, it has to do with things that are pretty popular in the 70s. Mainly truckers, disco dancers, vigilantes, and kung fu fighters. It's pretty much another really weird expansion. I still don't think it beats the grandmothers and teddy bears.
It's up there. I mean, of course, we were alive in the 70s. We're roughly 60 years old, each of us. And boy, I remember all those truckers and vigilantes always in the streets.
Definitely interesting coming with, we didn't report on it, but a new big box is coming out, which I thought was surprising, because I feel like they're really, going back to when we were talking about bloating and stuff, like.
Yeah, Smash Up has got a lot of expansions.
But
it sounds like they're
even
prepping
still,
more.
because we know besides this one, we know there's the other voting one, where we finally got our Cowboys.
Yeah.
And that one, I do want us to, at least, because I have the Big Geeky box and I have everything up until this point. And I think I could fit those two in. So I'm like, if they're doing another box, they probably have a lot more.
Yeah, they want to make sure that you can fit all those cards into one box and play Smash Up for the rest of your life.
And sleeved, I should mention, so.
Also releasing this week is Star Wars Legion from Fantasy Flight, their brand new big Star Wars miniatures game, but it's not launching alone. It comes with a whole slew of expansions. There's an AT-ST, there's Stormtroopers, there's the stuff like, accessory packs that you can buy to go with it. So if you're ready to go all in on a miniatures game like that, those things are out there for you. This is one that I played at Gen Con. We had a little impressions video of it, and is pretty fun and looks pretty cool, and I think if you like Star Wars games and you like miniatures, you're probably going to have a good time with this, although, like any miniatures game, it's going to be a bit of a little bit of an investment you got to make to jump into it, for sure. But that's available right now. Also coming out this week is Catan VR, available right now on both Oculus Rift and Gear VR devices. We're not going to go into too much detail about it, though, because we're actually going to have a little review later in the week of our own experiences with the game, so it's a little tease. You can look forward to that on our channel also.
But for now, that's all the news we have for March 26, 2018.
That's the one.
I almost got the date really screwed up. For now, I'm Will.
I'm Jonathan.
And this has been Roll for Crit News. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave some comments down below.
Yeah.